You have been in management at WPFW, and you're currently on the local station board. So you're able to have some additional insights that you do bring to the programmers and share with them so that we can be familiar with some of the inner workings from the local station board. Can you tell us the things that you see?
You know, I've been at WPFW almost since the very, very beginning. And as you so rightly put it, I've done everything at WPFW, including sweeping the floors. I've been a program director, acting general manager on both the, served on both the national board and local board. I'm on the board now. And in my experience at WPFW, it's at the lowest point that I've ever seen it. And that has to do with the direction at the top. We've had an interim program director, as Will had said, and that may seem to be a small thing, but programming is what we do. And so when you don't have a permanent program director, you really don't have permanent programming. And it really hurts us as programmers, but it's more damaging to the audience because we are listener supported. People pay us to do what it is that we say we're going to do. And when we don't do that, we don't get funding. And so in the situation that we're in now at the station, where there's no leadership at the top, there's virtually no development that's going on, and the general manager wants to redo the program director search, which not only is expensive in terms of money, but it's expensive in terms of time. I was on the search committee for the program director, and this general manager basically is subverting the process because he doesn't want one person. So he's throwing out the entire process in order to get around hiring the best person who came out of the search. And we could well do without a general manager. You can't do without a program director. You simply cannot do without a program director. And as I look at it, as I see things happening, as I hear all the rhetoric around the station, low-hanging fruit, boots on the ground and all of that, I don't really see any of that. You know, what I see is a station that's poorly ran, a general manager who never should have been hired in the first place. He wasn't vetted correctly, has no fundraising experience, and has very little experience at the level of really running a community radio station such as WPFW.
Joni Eisenberg, you're known all over the community. You've been a long-standing community activist in the Washington metropolitan area, as well as one of the premier programmers there. To Heal DC is your program. Can you share with us what you see happening at WPFW at this point?
I'd be glad to, Robin. As you mentioned, my show focuses on healing DC, healing the community, healing the nation, and healing ourselves. And I've been at the station for just about 20 years now on Monday mornings just before Tom Porter. We believe in jazz and justice, and as a talk show host, I try to focus more on the justice angle. And there are some issues with the station now that really call into question the issue of justice. We do not take corporate underwriting, we do not have commercials, we don't have toothpaste advertisements and unhealthy food, pharmaceutical companies. We exist because of the listener. But we've been very concerned about what direction we're going in now. Many of us feel that we're moving much more into a corporate direction, taking some of the worst practices of corporate America and putting them into place. We know that in today's day, when we see the Occupy Wall Street, Occupy DC, Occupy America, that we're concerned that the majority of the people need to be listened to. But yet at WPFW is very ironic that we're moving in, seems to be a little bit of the opposite direction. For example, people mentioned we've had an interim program director for 20 months, Bob Doutry. Most of us got along very well with him. The The station was moving smoothly. The general manager did not take the recommendations of the board and chose not to select him or the other two candidates. That's one major concern we have. The other concern is the way the staff, the paid staff, is being treated. We have a very small paid staff of less than 10 people. Most of us are volunteers, but there are paid staff. This year, earlier this year, under the direction of a so-called HR person, the paid staff who were the union members' salary was cut by 50%. Management was not cut at all. And that's just one example. What kind of direction is that for us to be moving in a station that's committed to justice? We have very serious concerns.
And what we're going to do, when we come back, we're going to take a short break, and we're going to continue this conversation because there are some, it appears to be some severe issues that surround WPFW at this point, and we need to continue to discuss this. We'll be right back in one moment with Joni Eisenberg, Tom Porter, Mayuki Williams, and Willard Jenkins. I'm Robin Holden.